Every major organ's secret benefit of fasting for 36 hours. Liver. When you fast for 36 hours, the liver is the first organ that has to figure out what to do. It acts like the body's backup generator. At the start, it uses the sugar you stored from your last meal. This stored sugar is called glycogen, and the liver keeps it just in case you need extra energy. After several hours, the liver notices that the glycogen is running out, so it starts making new sugar from things already inside the body. This process is called gluconeogenesis, which simply means making new glucose. As the fast continues, the liver realizes it can't rely on sugar anymore, so it switches to fat for fuel. It takes fat from your fat cells, breaks it down, and turns part of it into ketones. Ketones are like a different kind of energy that your brain and other organs can use. It's almost like the liver says, "Don't worry, everyone, I've got a plan B." When there isn't a lot of food coming in, the liver also starts cleaning itself. It breaks down old or damaged parts inside its cells and recycles them. This cleaning process helps the liver work better and stay healthy. Altogether, the liver becomes a busy repair shop and energy manager during fasting, making sure the rest of the body doesn't run out of power. Pancreas. The pancreas has one main job: lower the amount of insulin it sends out. Insulin is the hormone that helps your body store sugar, but when you're not eating, there isn't any sugar coming in. So the pancreas basically says, "No food? Fine, I'm taking the day off." And insulin levels drop very low. This drop is important because it tells the whole body, especially the fat cells, to start releasing stored fat for energy. At the same time, the pancreas increases another hormone called glucagon. Glucagon does the opposite of insulin. Instead of storing energy, it helps release it. When glucagon rises, the liver knows it's time to switch from sugar burning to fat burning. This shift helps keep your energy steady even though you haven't eaten. With less insulin around, the pancreas also helps reduce inflammation in the body. High insulin can sometimes make the body puffy and stressed, so when insulin drops during fasting, the body becomes calmer inside. Overall, during a long fast, the pancreas works quietly in the background, sending the right signals so the rest of the body can switch into fasting mode smoothly. Brain. The brain has to adjust to running on a new kind of fuel. At first, the brain waits for its usual energy source, glucose, but when it realizes no new food is coming, it switches to ketones. Ketones are tiny fuel molecules made from fat, and the brain uses them very well. It's almost like the brain says, "Okay, fine. If there's no sugar, I'll run on the backup stuff." As ketones rise, the brain becomes more focused and steady. This happens because ketones give the brain a smoother, cleaner energy supply. They don't cause big ups and downs the way sugar sometimes does. Many people notice they can think more clearly during fasting because the brain isn't distracted by sugar spikes. The brain also lowers certain signals that normally tell you to feel hungry. After a while, hunger fades because the brain understands that you're not starving. You're just switching energy modes. This shift helps you stay calmer and less grumpy while you fast. Overall, the brain becomes steady, efficient, and surprisingly comfortable running on this new fuel. Stomach. The stomach has to deal with something it's not used to, being empty for a long time. At first, it growls loudly to get your attention, almost like it's saying, "Hello? Did you forget about me?" Those early hunger noises happen because the stomach releases a hormone called ghrelin, which signals hunger. But as the hours pass, the stomach realizes that no food is coming, so it slowly reduces those signals. With no food to break down, the stomach gets a chance to rest. Normally, it works nonstop, churning and squeezing every meal you eat. Fasting gives the stomach a long break, which lets it repair any tiny irritations or stressed out areas in its lining. Think of it as the stomach taking a quiet spa day. Because it isn't making acid to digest food, the stomach also calms down. Acid levels drop, which can reduce irritation or heartburn for many people. Over time, the stomach becomes more relaxed and steady, waiting patiently for the next meal without the dramatic growls from earlier. Intestines. The intestines finally get a break from their usual job of moving, squeezing, and breaking down food all day long. At first, they're confused and expect a meal to arrive, but when nothing shows up, they slow down their movement. It's almost like they say, "All right, then, I guess we're on vacation." With no new food coming through, the intestines switch into repair mode. The lining of the intestines is made of tiny cells that get worn out from constant eating and digesting. Fasting gives these cells time to fix themselves or replace old ones. This helps the gut become stronger and less irritated over time. The intestines also reduce inflammation. Inflammation happens when the gut gets stressed or overwhelmed, especially by heavy or sugary meals. Without food constantly passing through, that stress goes way down. Helpful gut bacteria also get a chance to settle and rebalance themselves. Together, these changes make the intestines cleaner, calmer, and better prepared for your next meal. Heart. The heart begins running on a cleaner, steadier fuel. When the body switches from using sugar to using fat, the heart starts using fatty acids and ketones for energy. These fuels burn more smoothly, so the heart doesn't have to work as hard to keep a steady rhythm. It's almost like switching from an old, noisy engine to a quiet, electric motor. As insulin levels drop during fasting, blood pressure often drops a little too. This happens because low insulin relaxes the blood vessels, allowing blood to move more easily. The heart enjoys this because it doesn't have to push as forcefully. The reduced pressure gives the whole circulatory system a break. Fasting also lowers inflammation inside the blood vessels. Inflammation can make the arteries stiff or irritated, which forces the heart to pump harder. With fewer inflammatory signals floating around, the heart has an easier time sending blood throughout the body. Altogether, the heart becomes calmer, more efficient, and less stressed during a long fast. Fat cells. The fat cells finally get called into action. Normally, they just store extra energy from food, but when no new food arrives, the body turns to them and says, "All right, your turn." In response, fat cells begin breaking down their stored fat into smaller pieces called fatty acids. These fatty acids are sent into the bloodstream so other organs can use them for fuel. As insulin levels fall, fat cells get even more freedom to release energy. Insulin usually acts like a storage signal that tells fat cells to hold on tight to their fat. But during fasting, insulin drops very low, so the fat cells unlock and start sending out fuel. It's almost like they say, "Finally, we can clean out some of this stuff." Some of the fat that leaves the fat cells heads to the liver, where it gets turned into ketones. These ketones then help power the brain and muscles. Over time, the fat cells shrink as they give away more and more stored energy. This is the body's natural way of using fat when no food is coming in. Skin. The skin quietly starts improving itself from the inside. When you're not eating, the body reduces the amount of work it puts into digestion and switches that energy into repair. The skin benefits from this because it can focus on fixing tiny damaged areas, like worn out cells or places that have been stressed by sun, dryness, or irritation. With insulin levels lower during fasting, inflammation in the body also goes down. Inflammation can make the skin look puffy, red, or uneven. When inflammation drops, the skin becomes calmer and clearer. It's almost like the skin says, "Finally, a break from all the drama." Fasting also boosts a process called autophagy, which means self-cleaning. The skin cells start clearing out old proteins and damaged parts, then build fresh ones. This helps the skin stay stronger and healthier over time. Even though nothing is happening on the outside, the skin is quietly doing a lot of work behind the scenes. After 36 hours of fasting, your body isn't shutting down. It's upgrading itself from the inside out. Every organ works smarter, repairs faster, and runs cleaner than before. If you enjoyed learning how your body transforms, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more science made simple.